real balance. Greetings, my fellow Americans. Thank you for taking time to check out my video here. This is my second video. Bringing Balance is a channel that's looking to bring some balance to the political arena here in America. Based on all of this anger, animosity, and malevolence that's being tossed around, party after party, the division and what we call as red states and blue states is getting to the point of absurdity, and it's quite dangerous. And so what I wanted to do, I told you what to do on the second video, was that bring some of the insight, the vision, and more importantly, the warnings of the founders of this nation as to the things we as the people must be on alert for, must be aware about as we move forward as a nation. And many of those things are prophetic when you look at the current situation that we are here in America today. I'm gonna start out with a statement. I'm gonna be reading this because these are things written by other people, and I'm not gonna try to paraphrase. I want you to hear exactly the words of these individuals, what they said, the warnings they were given, and then you take a look at where we are at now and there in America politically, and you can kind of see where the problem is and clearly see the danger. And after you kind of listen to this too, as an American citizen, if you don't vote or you're not politically active, you should be ashamed of yourself when you hear some of the things that's being said here. I'm going to start off first with a gentleman named Patrick Langdon. He was a patriot, and he was speaking before the Massachusetts legislature. And this is in 1788. Remember, this is the early portions of the formation of our government. And this is what he had to say, and I quote: "On the people, therefore, of these United States, it depends whether wise men or fools, good or bad men, shall govern. Therefore, I will now lift up my voice and cry aloud to the people. From year to year, be careful in the choice of your representatives and the higher powers of office. Fix your eyes upon men of good understanding and known honesty, men of knowledge, improved by experience, men who fear God and hate covetousness, who loves truth and righteousness and sincerely wish for the public welfare. Let not men openly irreligious, immoral become your legislators. If the legislative body are corrupt, you will soon have bad men for counselors, corrupt judges, unqualified justices, and officers in every department who will dishonor their stations. Never give sanction or tolerance to turbulent men who wish to distinguish themselves and rise to power by forming factions or parties and exciting insurrections against government." Okay, this is a patriot. You heard what he said. Do we do that today? No. Many of the people that are elected to office are unscrupulous. They're cunning. They're conniving. They're devious. They're scheming. They're greedy. They're immoral. All we go by is a few sound bites, a nice suit or dress, how attractive these individuals look, how smooth they talk, and boom, bam, they're in. And then once they're in and the government is dysfunctional, then we all are crying, what's going on? Then you let them point to the other side and claim that's the problem. Now you got hatred for the other side. This is a ping pong game that's being played on the American people. The side that is not in power is going to accuse all the problems that's going on in the country on the side that is in power. The side that is in power is going to claim they can't accomplish all the goals they need to accomplish, or that they told you they would accomplish because the other side is blocking them. So now that side hates that side. And we're stuck in the middle with our hand out asking for help. We have become impotent as a people, as voters, as the electorate, as those who are the owners of a great government. who lets us just slither away because of our political apathy, lack of civic responsibility, and the many other things that I mentioned in the other video. Now, if you think what this gentleman said was, pretty, kind of harsh and it's kind of, serious that we should be considering the men or women that we are electing for higher offices, wait till you hear what George Washington had to say about political parties and how he was truly, vehemently against political parties and the dangers of them. And in his letter, he wrote a letter, a farewell letter, as he left office, and what he wanted to leave as a parting message to the American people that he thought was very important. And it's going to go down the same lines as what this gentleman, Patrick Langdon, has stated about us being aware. And about this last portion that he had mentioned, that he stated, never give sanction or tolerance to turbulent men who wish to distinguish themselves and rise to power by forming factions or parties. Even back then, in 1788, George Washington's farewell letter was in 1796. Both are mentioning the same thing, the danger of parties. And we all believe today we need to rally behind a party with a specific agenda. That's not the American way. The American way is making sure that there's an equitable solution to whatever problems the country faces. And that takes wise men, men of moral character, men who are willing to serve, not men who are willing to distinguish themselves into some powerful positions for them and their own, family and friends' benefit, and not for the benefit of the people.